Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to show you my new shop. Alright guys, here's my new shop. Let me give you a tour. As you can see, there's a nice window there. I got a lift. So there's plenty of space here. This is actually 1,400 square feet. I'm just getting set up, so I haven't really put my tools out or anything like that. But there's my toolbox, some new cabinets. So this will be a first project car on the channel. It's a 2011 535i with the N55 motor. I know this lift could look a little sketchy, but it's actually a single post, single column lift, good for 6,000 pounds, and it seems to be doing the job. As you can see, there's the capacity. There's pretty decent lighting in this place because there is a skylight. Previous tenant painted everything, so it looks pretty good considering it's an industrial space. So 1,400 square feet, there should be lots of room for activities. I want to be able to work on about 3 cars at once. The plan is to purchase auction cars and flip them to help pay for the rent and help with content. This particular car is from an auction and it's got some issues. Let's go over that real quick. Considering I'm taking this YouTube thing a little more serious, I might as well introduce myself. My name is Musa, and of course you've been a subscriber for a long time, so you know what I've been putting out there, but I've had a format where I'm kind of focused on the content, focused on the car and not so much myself and talking. That's going to pretty much stay, but at the same time, I don't want to have to be editing myself out of content while I'm filming. So with that being said, I'll put this car on the ground and show you a little bit of the issues it has. As you can see, that lift is pretty versatile for a space like this because you can move it around as needed. You don't have to bolt it to the floor. So if you heard this car, it was running somewhat smooth, and then all of a sudden when it goes closed loop, it starts to buck and jerk. So there appears to be some type of fueling issue. So far the lighting seems half decent, so I haven't set up my lights to see how this looks when I edit it, but just heads up that I may have to dial in the lighting in this new place. As you can see, someone put straight pipes on it and it looks really tacky. It's got tints that are way too dark. The interior trim is all melted. The steering wheel controls, the lower bezel, etc. is in rough shape. Then you have your radio controls that are all messed up. And then you have trim that's bubbling, etc. A broken ashtray, worn out iDrive. Then you have trim that's bubbling. But I'll start it up and show you what happens. A little bit of bucking. Engine malfunction. So this particular car was bought from an auction. I didn't buy it from the auction, someone else did. They put coils and plugs in it, didn't fix the issue, they gave up. I'll give it another start so you can see how it runs. So that is super loud, but that can be fixed easily. I already ordered some mufflers. I'm gonna put the resonator back on because in my opinion, it doesn't suit a car like this. But it seems like while it's doing a warm procedure, it can somewhat run, and then when it goes closed loop, it runs like crap. I haven't gotten into the diagnosis. I actually have a viewer named Joel, a really smart guy that I've been talking to for a long time that lives local to me now that I'm in California, that said he'd be interested in kind of doing some raw troubleshooting with me just for fun with the scope and whatnot. So we're probably gonna arrange for that. So I unplugged the map sensor to force an open loop situation just to see if it changes the behavior of the car. So unplugging the MAP sensor would have been a very basic way to interfere with the way it's referencing incoming air and maybe force it to not run a particular way. But regardless, we're just getting into the beginning of this. You know, there could be the fueling system, the high pressure fuel pump, it could be the injectors, it could be the eccentric shaft sensor and or motor or the mechanism itself. But more than likely, it seems like something sensor related, fueling related. So this place is going to be used as an auction car flip house, so to speak, maybe, you know, saving mechanically messed up cars and turning this into a little bit of a mini dealership, selling to the public, etc. I debated keeping these rims on the car, but I will. They're 20-inch. All I've done so far is taken off the carbon fiber wrap that they put on top of the emblem to black it out. The car needs a lot of work in terms of cosmetics. I'm going to paint the bumper potentially, we'll see. Little things like a cracked taillight. Here's some of the new components that I've already purchased. So there'll be a bunch of DIYs coming. I got the car back on the lift and I'm gonna put my E90 under it just for a really good thumbnail to show you guys a new space. So I'll show you the process of me setting the car up on the lift and getting it to full height. A number of you guys recommend that I get a lift so that I can elevate my content and show you guys in more detail without working on my back. I'd imagine it's the first time a number of you guys have seen this particular type of lift, and it may seem sketchy, but it has decent reviews. And they're not that cheap actually, they're kind of expensive but versatile. All right, now I'm gonna back up on the lift. Because of the way the weight is distributed, you kind of want to bias the weight of the car over toward the single column. There's a car fully lifted. The one thing about these lifts is you have to be okay with a little bit of deflection. You have to understand the physics of it. Plus you also have to understand that when you're doing some heavy torquing on suspension or whatnot, the car will move a little bit. Kind of holds true for a regular hoist, but this particular one a little more than usual. If that makes you nervous, you can put a transmission jack here and just kind of put a rubber pad and have it just kind of hold some weight here so that the car won't move very much. But in terms of being safe, this is maybe a 4,000 pound car. It's rated for 6,000. I'm not using any extensions and whatnot on the arms. So, you know, I'm taking my chances in terms of being under a lift in general, but I trust this more than jack stands. So the lifting height of this lift is about 6 feet, and that's how tall I am, just under 6 feet. So I can comfortably work under here. I just opened the door to get a little bit light in here, but as you can see, they just put straight pipes on here, got rid of the mufflers, and it doesn't suit this car. So I have mufflers on order. They also deleted the resonator, that's gotta go. I'm gonna put the resonator back in. As you can see, the car has a slight angle to it. That's just par for the course. Comes with the territory with this type of lift. If I were to shake it, there's some movement, but that's kind of typical for most jacks, even two posts. But assuming you didn't jack the car properly, you didn't distribute the balance properly, but in this case, it is on there properly. It's just the way the physics of this jack are. All right, so hopefully you're excited for the future and for what's gonna come of this channel. I wanna make a business into restoring these cars, saving these cars. I see so many of them just go get parted out because of a mechanical problem. A car like this would most certainly have just been parted out because it was running rough, it was repossessed, and nobody knew how to fix it, and that seems like a shame. There's lots of life left in it. If you're talking about helping the environment and helping the future, you should keep some of these clean running cars on the road if at all possible. All right guys, if this is the first video you're catching on mine, please consider subscribing. If you liked it, please give a like so it'll rank higher. Thanks for watching.